High interest rates, inflation and petrol prices have not gotten the best of Zeda. In this environment, the integrated mobility solutions leasing business and car sales thrived, helping boost revenue, which came in at a record near 11 billion rand during its annual period. Darlene caught up with company CEO Ramasela Ganda for her take on the accelerated performance, kicking off the conversation on that record top-line growth. Here's that conversation.
Our revenue growth to reach the 10.5 billion is the work that has come through a number of years. From 2021, when we're coming out of COVID, we said we need to diversify our business because we understand that the used car market will go through exactly what you've just said. Because during that time, it was a time of a high. And our focus and our strategy was, let's diversify, let's grow our leasing business, let's make sure that the car rental business, we focus at the right area, and also let's optimize the used car business. So combination of all of that really resulted in the results that you're seeing today of 10.5 billion, that despite the challenges that we're seeing in the used car market, which I tend to say they're not really challenges, but it's where used car margin is returning back to normality, because it was at a super profit, the margins that we were earning over the past couple of years. But what I'm very happy and proud of with the team is when we said this period will come, we need to prepare for it. We had all hands on deck. We grew our heavy commercial business. We grew our greater Africa business. And we make sure that we focus on the right things with regard to car rental and also in car sales that really generated this positive. So really it didn't come much as a surprise, but an effort from the team that has worked throughout the last 4 years.
Let's talk about that used car market. You did say that it's more of a reflection of things going back to normal, but we can't deny, margins are under pressure. You're dealing with a consumer that has less disposable income. How are you just navigating that environment?
I think the biggest advantage is if we've got 10 customers that needs to buy a vehicle, our used car, is known in the market, both from a retail and, wholesalers. Our customers understand that, we've got quality car. The beauty about our car is that it only had one owner, and that owner that take pride around it because we look after the car. People say car rental cars goes from different hands, but it always go to one owner. And our vehicle, before we even take it to used car, is a well-maintained vehicle, as well-serviced vehicle. We fix everything around it. And when it's a vehicle that has been in an accident, you will know that it has been in an accident. And if the accident affected an engine, you won't even find it in our car sales business. So that's how much we pride ourselves. So people understand. So if we only have very few customers with, disposable income, we are the preferred market, both from wholesale and retail. And that's really what makes us continuously, go above, the market. Obviously, we go through the challenges that the entire market goes through, but, at some point to a less extent than the rest.
Let's touch on the long-term leasing business. One of the driving forces of that top-line growth we spoke about at the top. Talk to me about the dynamics playing out there and what kind of customer is boosting the leasing book. Is it the public sector? Is it corporates? I ask because, spending quite limited in the first half of the year as we had, jitters before the election.
Look, our corporate leasing business is the diversifier. When I look at corporate SA, it cuts across different markets, be it mining, agriculture, and even in the mining sector, it's either coal, manganese, it's across. Iron ore. So we've got, a diverse customer profile, diverse commodity profile, and we now, with the heavy commercial, diverse vehicle profile. So that really helps us that if one sector of the market is going through a tough time, we've got other sectors that are holding very strong. But over and above that, the leasing business is very strong in Greater Africa. It contributes about 20% of our revenue of 2.8 billion. So it's quite a significant business in our game, and it was done so deliberately. We've seen our strategy of saying we need to grow Greater Africa. Zambia has been growing exceptionally well, focusing in the mining industry, also in agriculture industry. So it has been one of the biggest, positive things for us to take in the last 3 years even.
So clearly, diversification is the name of the game when it comes to Zeda. You've also just introduced iLease as an alternative to vehicle ownership. What kind of trends are playing out there? Is the consumer preferring to lease rather than own in the short time it's been available?
I guess there's a misunderstanding about the iLease.
Okay.
So to say, I'm leasing the vehicle, but what the market is still to grasp is, iLease gives you the flexibility. You don't have to lease at the same time and the same period as you buy a vehicle. You can lease it for 2 years and say, you know what, my condition have changed. I really need to return back this vehicle. And you can also opt to buy the vehicle at the end. What the market is still to understand about iLease is the beauty of flexibility, managing your own fund, and don't let someone else to manage it. Because if you sign, a car purchase agreement that says you are hooked for the next 70 months or 60 months with a residual value, when it comes to iLease, it says, look, my affordability looks like this at this point in time. And let's see how I run for the next 24 months. If it looks good, I'm in full run with you. If things like life happen, I really want to come back to Zeda and say, help me as part of it. There's no issues because we are a mobility business. We're able to take your vehicle. Unlike other institutions that won't be able to take the vehicle because they're not in the vehicle business. We can take the vehicle that you were using and we can decide where to deploy it. We can decide to sell it. We can deploy it in a new customer, and we do tell the customer, look, this vehicle has been utilized, this kilometers been looking like this, the maintenance is looking like that, you're getting it at the reduced rate. So we believe that this is going to be an educational drive for us to do, because really missing out on iLease is really missing out on something that can really save you, especially in this tough economic condition.
That was Zeda CEO Ramasela Ganda.